Hello, once again, folks, to another episode of I Ruin It, the art series where I take some of your favorite childhood things and I ruin them. In today's episode, we're going to be working with Schnitzel from the Cartoon Network show Chowder. Without further ado, let's see how it goes.
All right. So, honestly, I have a very, very large tendency to go through and say that, oh, this is one of my favorite shows from my childhood, or oh, I loved this show when I was growing up. Honestly, guys, I just really like cartoons, especially Cartoon Network properties. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little unapologetic on it, I suppose, but bear with me. Again, Chowder was one of those shows that whenever I saw that it was on, I would turn it on. Just like every other one of these two, I also just loved the art style. I loved the shifting patterns on all the characters. It was super nifty to me. I when I was younger and didn't know how they did that, I was so amazed, and it just baffled me that they could do anything like that. Obviously, now that I'm older, I know it was they effectively just had like a texture layer or something to that avail. And as the characters were scrolling past, the texture was just staying stationary. But I didn't know that I was a kid when I was a kid. All right, so but now that I'm an adult, I do. I don't know. I find more whimsy in it almost now that I'm an adult than when I was a kid, because I do know how it was done, and I do know that it took extra time and effort to do the animation one way versus a different way. Just like I see all these posts saying things like, "Oh yeah, the '90s for animation was the best," or the 2000s. Honestly, I think it's all kind of just depending on what you're viewing for animation and how it resonates with you. Because some could argue we're in one of the best times for animation, between what all we have for CG and resources and everything like that. Like, yeah, there might be some of the whimsy lost from not having like hand drawn tunes anymore, but we also get more crisp edges and more fine details. And I'm going to argue that that matters more for the storytelling that we have nowadays, too. Because we're dealing with more fleshed out thoughts. Maybe not particularly complex by any means, but they're more fleshed out because they almost have to be. Especially if we're thinking in a creative sense. Like, back in the 90s and early 2000s, show about troublemaker boys pulling schemes to get money to buy candy. Like, great premise. Overall, it's Ed, and Eddie, though. So how do you rework that? Okay, well, three boys open a... Or even better, two boys open a big business, and there's a secret agent that like is behind the scenes, and the thing that's going on with the secret agent always ends up saving the boys from being in trouble with their parents. That's Phineas and Ferb. I don't know. I'm getting a little tangential here on it, but I thought, and I still think animation, character design, storytelling. I think it's just gotten better in some ways and worse in other ways, but I can't quite pinpoint it. Just animation overall is cool. Not to mention, this particular era of Cartoon Network that Chowder was a part of was so big during like my middle school and early high school days, because at the time we had like, towards the beginning of Chowder, that is, we had like Misadventures of Flapjack that was airing, and that kind of helped ease me into horror a little bit more and helped me understand that like I'm not so much a gore fan particularly, but I love psychological horror films and things to that avail, because I love the aspect of having to have that deep thought during the movie, or flip side, it messes with you on like an emotional level as opposed to just like, monster poke out corner, ooh, buckets of blood. But then like other side of Chowder's time frame is when we had like regular show and Adventure Time, and from there we would have so many other creators make so many other fun and interesting shows, like Craig of the Creek, which is just imagination time for a bunch of kids, and OKKO, and as much as it gets clowned on, Teen Titans Go, like, yeah, it's not the original, but almighty everything above, it's funny sometimes. Like, as much as I don't want to say it, it's funny at times. But I suppose I should probably talk about this piece, shouldn't I? So I'm combining a couple of different themes on this. The pose is borrowed from those older Ziggy window decals. You know, the little drawing with the big nose dude where the nose is hanging off the edge of the countertop and his fingers are kind of clinging on like he's looking up over it. And then Schnitzel, obviously, as Schnitzel. But then the blue might be a little bit of an interesting cut, given that it's supposed to be a reference to a Disney property, actually. Atlantis, the Lost Empire, the energy that the Atlanteans give off is that, like, cyan blue. And I thought it would be fun to have it look like Schnitzel was mad because he fell or something, and now he's charging all of his power to unleash it. Just silly thoughts. But yeah, I suppose we are getting pretty close to the end here, everybody. So I hope I didn't run you off with all my speaking, and if you hung out to the end of the video, thank you so very much. I know it's not usually a lot of views, but the ones that I do get do mean like so much. Just knowing that there are people out there that want to see the things that I'm making, really, it's really heartening. And I do appreciate it. Makes it remind me that these things are worth putting the time into and doing right. And not just slapping it together because I wanted to post something on the internet. But folks, thank you so very much for watching. This has been another episode of I Ruined It. I have been enjoying this one just as much as I've been enjoying every other one before. If you liked the video, feel free to hit the like button. If you'd like to stay up to date on things that I'm doing in the future, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you have a suggestion for something that you would like to see in the future in one of these videos, please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. Otherwise, folks, thanks again.